There's something billionaires know that they'll never teach in school. In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to reveal why the most successful people on earth think everything from choosing coffee to building empires is actually the Machiavellian secret. And once you understand this pattern, you'll never see human behavior the same way again. But I need to warn you, this information was hidden for centuries. The Catholic Church condemned it. Modern corporations bury it. And the reason is simple. It works too well. Before we begin, understand this. What you're about to learn will feel wrong. Your brain will resist it. That discomfort you're feeling right now, that's your conditioning fighting against truth. The question is, are you ready to see behind the curtain? 3 years ago, a Silicon Valley CEO told me something that changed everything. We were at a private dinner. He just sold his third company for $400 million. I asked him his secret. He smiled and said, I finally understood what Machiavelli was really teaching. Then he explained something that made my blood run cold. But before I reveal what he told me, you need to understand something about human nature that 99% of people get backwards. Here's what that CEO told me. Everything in life is about one thing: controlled perception. Not success, not money, not even power. Controlled perception. Think about it. When you meet someone, you're not meeting them. You're meeting the version they want you to see. When a company launches a product, they're not selling features. They're selling the story you'll tell yourself. Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago, but he hid it between the lines because writing it directly would have gotten him killed. He said everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. But here's what he didn't say out loud. Once you understand this, you can architect exactly how the world sees you, not through lying, through strategic truth. Are you getting this? This isn't about deception, it's about design. This connects to something Machiavelli discovered in 1513 that completely changes how you see power. Your brain processes 11 million bits of information per second. You're consciously aware of maybe 40. That means 99.9996% of reality happens below your awareness. This is where Machiavellian thinking operates. Not in what people think about, but in what they don't think about. Every successful person I've studied does three things. They control the frame, they manage attention, they design the conclusion. Last month, I watched a 23-year-old use this to close $1 million deal. He didn't pitch anything. He just controlled what questions got asked. The investors thought it was their idea to invest. This is the part that scares people, because once you see it, you realize it's happening everywhere. Every conversation, every relationship, every decision you think you're making freely. Someone designed that decision for you. Just like my business partner who used this exact technique to completely restructure our company without anyone realizing what was happening until it was done. But the real power isn't in what Machiavelli wrote. It's in what he deliberately left out. And that brings us to how tech billionaires are using this today. So how do you use this without becoming evil? Simple. You use it for alignment, not manipulation. Here's your protocol starting tomorrow. Morning calibration. Before any important interaction, ask yourself, what perception serves both of us? Not just you, both of you. The three-layer method. Layer 1 is what they expect to see, which creates comfort. Layer 2 is what surprises them positively, which creates interest. Layer 3 is what makes them feel understood, which creates connection. The permission pattern. Give people psychological permission to give you what you want. Don't ask for help. Create conditions where helping you feels like their victory. Instead of saying, can you introduce me to John? Try, I'm looking for someone who understands X like John does. Who would you recommend? They'll suggest John. It was their idea. They feel smart. You both win. If you're still watching, it means you're already different from 95% of people. You see patterns others miss. You question what others accept. That's not an accident. That's evolution. Your brain is literally wired differently. Scientists call it cognitive flexibility. Machiavelli called it virtue. I call it your unfair advantage. Elon Musk keeps the prince on his nightstand. Mark Cuban quoted it in his autobiography. Every major hedge fund manager has memorized chapter 17, but they all miss the real message. Since discovering this, my income increased 400%. My anxiety disappeared. people started treating me completely differently. I finally understood why I'd been losing for so long. But there's one more layer that even successful people miss. That CEO I mentioned, at the end of dinner, he said something I'll never forget. The greatest Machiavellian move is using these principles to become genuinely valuable. When you're truly useful to others, manipulation becomes unnecessary. Power flows to value. And that's the ultimate secret. Machiavelli wasn't teaching deception. He was teaching design. Design your value. Design your relationships. Design your life. But here's the thing. 95% of people who watch this will do nothing. They'll feel smart for 10 minutes, then go back to sleep. The 5% who act, they're about to experience something extraordinary. Because knowing this information isn't power. Using it is. Remember that dinner? What he said next changed how I see everything. He told me the scariest part. You've been doing this your whole life without knowing. Every time you chose your words carefully, every time you presented yourself a certain way, every time you influenced an outcome, you were being Machiavellian. The only difference now is consciousness. And if you've watched this far, you're already different from everyone else who clicked away. The question now isn't whether you understand the Machiavellian secret. It's whether you have the courage to use it. Look, I spent 3 years studying this, testing it, refining it, and every week I share the specific tactics that are working right now. Not theory, real examples from real situations. Last week, I broke down how a freelancer used this to 10x their rates in 30 days. The week before, how someone saved their marriage using strategic truth. If you want to see exactly how this works in real life, I drop new breakdowns every Sunday. But honestly, most people aren't ready for this level of thinking. If that's you, no judgment. This isn't for everyone. But if you felt something shift while watching this, if you recognized yourself in what I described, then you already know what to do. The notification bell is there, or don't click it. Either way, you now know the Machiavellian secret. What you do with it is your choice.